Now, writing is not as easy a task as some people make out. Sometimes I must wait weeks and weeks for what you call inspiration. While I'm waiting, I sit at my desk with my hands poised over the keyboard in case the divine spark hits me like a bolt of lightning and knocks me off my chair, which has happened more than once. And all the while I'm thinking away, figuring out what I'm going to do with my characters. Should I have Sally marry Jack, or should Jack marry Evelyn? Who's Evelyn? I say to myself, never having heard of her before. You have no idea what a big problem writer's block is once it sets in, and you have no idea how the writer gets himself out of it. Neither does he. Sometimes when I'm desperate, I find it useful to stack all my books up on one end of my desk, lean back in my chair, and kick the books off one by one with one foot. Now this may seem kind of untidy, but all the while my mind is working away, and my plot is taking shape. Sometimes it's the shape of a honeydew melon, and sometimes it takes the shape of a slimy amorphous thing with two heads and no face. When this kind of shape manifests itself, I go back to bed. I'm no fool. And what makes writing humor really difficult in this day and age is the lengths at which humorless people will go to analyze humor. It seems to worry them. They can't believe that humor should be allowed to exist just for its own sake. A good example of this are the would-be savants who try to wrench deep meaning out of Alice in Wonderland. Now, I allow that there are some parallels between real-life situations and the situations in the Alice books, but I firmly believe that this is not because Lewis Carroll put sense into his nonsense, but because the real-life situations are sheer nonsense in themselves. Why mess around with nonsense? It can stand well enough on its own 2 feet. And why mess around with any kind of humor? I recently got a letter from another worried citizen who, for some reason or other, is writing a treatise on humor. He asks just 2 questions. What is humor? What makes people laugh? Boy, if I knew, I wouldn't be standing up here, I can tell you. In fact, I'm going to have to be going. I'm running low on inspiration, and I have some important book kicking and mandolin playing to do. Good night.